Great. Thank you all for coming. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Discover. A lot of incredible announcements this morning in Antonio's keynote. And so we'll talk a little bit about that today. And I've talked to some of my colleagues and some of the customers in the room, and a lot of amazing technology, a lot of amazing sessions that everyone's gone to today. So thank you for participating. But today we're going to talk a little bit about data management and storage, right? And so our organizations that we're dealing with, everyone from small SMB customers to some of the largest enterprises and service providers, they are moving from a public cloud first approach to a hybrid approach, right? So for us, we are designing solutions and product experiences in the world of data management so that you can deploy and place the right workloads in the right place to optimize for performance as well as maximize your TCO. So, they're seeing a lot of value and potential in optimizing their infrastructure, deploying the right workloads in the right place at the right time. And so what I'll do is show you how we're doing that from a storage angle in today's presentation. Just a couple things that we're seeing here. So this year alone, it's estimated that we're going to generate about 3.5 exabytes per day. So since the beginning of this presentation, we've already generated about 12 petabytes, so it's a staggering amount of data that's being put out there within the data center, put out there in co-location facilities. One of the new areas is certainly in the public cloud, and then beyond with the edge, which we see a lot of opportunity. So a staggering amount of data growth. And I think one of the things that we see from a theme with our customers is it's becoming very, very complex. And so the organizations that we talk about increased complexity related to their data. They can't keep pace with the increasing number of stakeholders, right, that have that data. So in the past, it was around how do I store it, how do I protect it, right? But in the context of some of the things around generative AI, we're talking about how do you mobilize that data, how do you tag it, how do you process it so you understand more about it, how do you access it, and then also we're having a lot of requests around data security, data governance, data sovereignty, right? So if you think about all this fantastic data that you're going to harness for the use of AI, you want to make sure that it's valid data, right? That it's been validated, you understand where it's coming from, because a lot of the insights you're going to derive from that, right, are very important and very critical. So that's an area that our customers are struggling and coming to us with. And then we're also seeing the growth of data is becoming more distributed, right? So neither scalable nor economical to rely solely on one place, right? And so we've had a number of examples to talk about repatriating workloads that are becoming very distributed, whether you're a retail organization, for example, that has tens of thousands of stores, whether you are providing a next generation fan experience, right, in the stadium. That data is being created in places outside the traditional data center of the public cloud, and we have to provide a way to store and effectively manage that. So those are some of the big areas that we see from our customers that they're struggling with. So applying those workloads that are ideal for the public cloud, bringing them into other areas, right? So we're seeing some specific situations where that's not ideal, right? We see a number of areas around certainly AI, certainly around some very large databases, right? You think about SAP HANA and other types of examples, right, where the economics don't work out. And so we're here to help you understand where those are supposed to go in a hybrid cloud context, right? We're the #1 provider of hybrid cloud solutions. And for us to be able to help you out that's our #1 charter in life, especially from a storage and data management perspective. So our solution, right, that we've talked about a number of times is around what we call our GreenLake cloud platform. So many people associate GreenLake with like an economic experience, right? Pay as you go, some of the flexible solutions. But for us, when we're designing our products, especially around storage, it's a product experience, right? So when you go to greenlake.hpe.com, this is a cloud operational experience, right? So you can do storage and data management as a service, backup as a service, DR as a service. It's a true hybrid cloud platform for managing your on-premises and your cloud based IT infrastructure. And so this can mean that your data is resident in your data center, it could be in your co-location partner, it could be in the public cloud, and it could be beyond, right? So it's really important to understand that. And it's one platform means it's one place for you to go for simplified data storage management. So when you go to greenlake.hp.com, this is our cloud console, right? Very easy to use, very simple laid out. You've got all of your storage constructs there, from fleet management, device health, workload placement, all of your data services that go along with it. So it's very intuitive, very easy to understand, and we keep on adding. One of the beautiful things is that when you abstract the data and the storage from all of your data services and cloud operational experience, we can provide very, very quick time to value on all of our innovation. So we can provide new SaaS experiences, new data management and data services experience very quickly up in the GreenLake cloud platform. And we do this on a weekly basis in the engineering team here. So a lot of cool stuff that we're doing in the platform itself. And so this is a comprehensive solution to store, manage, and protect data across your hybrid cloud. And we feel that given this one platform, we deliver a very good solution that's going to span multiple workloads, multiple types of customers, and multiple data services that you need to do things like store, protect, govern, analyze, secure all of your data in a world that's hybrid, in a world that's moving from Mode 1 workloads, bare metal, VMware, to take advantage of some of the things we've been talking about today, which is AI native workloads, Kubernetes, containers, right? So we're setting you up to be able to live bimodally in both worlds with a really good cloud operational experience on the platform itself. And so the way that we describe this platform is, and we talked about this earlier in the year with a big launch, it was our HPE GreenLake for Storage Day, is that we're designing an edge-to-cloud platform. This is sort of a very simplified diagram. But we want to be able to provide a common set of hardware infrastructure based on scalable building blocks that provide multiple protocols to address a number of different workloads in the data center. We've got hybrid cloud data protection that's going to allow you to templatize and automate some of the key things you need to do around SLAs, RTO, RPO, backup. And it's also going to do things like storage fabric management for you. There's a lot of new paradigm shifts in the data center itself around NVMe, right? New fabric technologies, high-speed throughput for some of the most demanding applications. So that's all wrapped up in what we call our AI Ops framework, right? So we're using AI in our products to provide a better experience for our customers, right? So we've been doing this for about 7, 8, 9 years at this point. We're on the 5th version of our own AI and machine learning data lake. And so we build this into our product on a daily basis to provide high level automation, a high level of insight, and a high level of repeatability for our customers. So this is all wrapped up and delivered for us within HPE GreenLake and our data services cloud console. So what are we seeing from emerging and evolving workloads? So we actually had some really great customer meetings here this week. And so many of the workloads fall within 2 areas. The first is when you think about private cloud, right? So many of our customers who come to us and talk about storage and data management issues, right? It sort of evolves into what can I do better to provide a private cloud for my customers, right? And so how do I modernize my VMware estate? How do I modernize and expand upon all my databases? Many folks use Oracle, use SAP HANA, but now they're starting to get into semi-structured databases like MongoDB, some vector databases for various workloads, and then all of your apps, right? And so we want to be able to help customers modernize those Mode 1 workloads and then provide a set of hybrid services for them so they can deploy either on-prem or off-prem. So that's that one area around private cloud. So providing all of the automation, all of the infrastructure to do that. And then providing sort of a stepping stone for many of our customers to now access what's going on in AI native, right? Which is a very different construct. You're thinking about apps that do AI and ML, streaming analytics, oftentimes delivered with Kubernetes. We had a really good customer advisory session yesterday, and one of the biggest problems they talked about was they're seeing anywhere from 20 to 40% growth in their data center around Kubernetes, right? And there's some very real challenges that come along with that in terms of storage management, storage consumption management, networking. How do you back it up? How do you apply DR to it? How do you provide the same level of SLAs you would have for VMware? Because these are now becoming business critical, if not mission critical applications, right? And then I need to use that infrastructure and provide a really resilient high-speed fabric, very scalable storage, and all the data services and cloud consumption model around it. So we're really seeing customers deploy in a hybrid methodology, both on-prem and off-prem, but hybrid also in the way they do application management as well as managing their infrastructure. So there are a lot of emerging workloads in this space. It's very interesting. And so one of those areas around emerging workloads is certainly AI. And so what we see from a storage perspective is you have different classes of applications within the AI workflow. And it goes everywhere from start off with your data aggregation, right? Goes through data prep, you do training and tuning, and then inference. So that's batch and also top of the pyramid around real-time inference. And so for us, they have different sort of capabilities and different aspects of those workloads. Some of them are capacity intensive, right? So you think about your data lake that you create around around all of your data preparation and getting that ready to feed into your models. And then you have more write performance and read performance intensive as you go up the stack in terms of what those workloads are doing, right? And there's all sorts of different applications, both enterprise applications and open source applications that go into these. But this represents sort of the data model that you'd have deployed in an AI stack, right? And they all have different features and they have different necessities. So up here on the very top, you need availability, you need GPU direct access, so very high performance. You want to have data reduction available, all the way down to the bottom where you'd have more of a single namespace, unified access, a lot of resiliency, a little bit less, it's more cost intensive, right? Because you're running that at scale. And so if you think about mapping storage to those workloads, you have a number of capabilities in this area. So what we provide within the Alletra framework, right, is the ability to address all of these. So you can do very high performance NVMe with our Alletra MP, right? So you can do node local storage that allows you to really reduce your latency in these areas. You've got high performance unstructured data performance. So we announced this morning some really great scalability, both on capacity and performance for Alletra MP, so GreenLake for file, right? And so that's going to provide you that high performance storage with a number of aspects around availability and resiliency, data efficiency. That's going to really help you feed those GPUs, right, and run those models. And then we also have a number of solutions based on the Alletra family that allow you to address these very large, multi-tens of petabyte scale data lakes, right? So how do you coalesce that data together, access that through standard protocols like S3 or NFS and whatnot to do that data prep and ultimately store your data for very long periods of time. So when you think about these workflows, it's complicated. There's not one single storage solution that's going to allow you to do that. And so we provide a family of products and solutions in the Alletra line that allowed you to address the different stages of the workflow for these brand new AI workloads, oftentimes deployed through Kubernetes. So really cool concept here. And so some of the things that we've done in the product announcements lately. So this morning we talked about an expansion around HPE GreenLake for file. So accelerate your AI and ML and data intensive applications. This performs at scale up to 250 petabytes of effective data. We announced a 7x increase in throughput and some of your capacity density. So these are all really cool solutions that pack in some of the latest NVMe technology. using Rocky V2 for a very scalable NVMe backend fabric. And then you can also use some of our scalable solutions in the Alletra product line for building your data lake, right? So we just announced a new set of platforms called the Alletra Storage Server 4140. You can pack essentially 92 large form factor devices into a 4U framework, right? So that's going to give you access to essentially over 4 to 5 petabytes in 4 rack units. Very dense, very cost efficient for building some of your data lakes and using that for unstructured data. And then, for at the top of the pyramid in terms of, really, really great performance, very low latency, our distributed scale-out block storage with 100% data availability guaranteed. Now we're actually scaling that to multi-node systems, so an N+M scalable architecture. And you can start very small, right? You can start at 15 terabytes and scale that to almost 3 petabytes in a single system, right? So this is a great family. It's actually one of the fastest growing storage family products we've ever had within HPE. So if you have some time, go down on the show floor, check out our Alletra offerings, everything from very high performance, low latency storage, GreenLake for file deployed on Alletra that allows you to address some of the most challenging workloads in unstructured data, specifically generative AI, and then how to build very large data lakes and persistent storage and beyond with some of our other Alletra product families. So a lot of really good innovation going into our products to help you address some of these brand new and evolving workloads. And so as we build out that platform, right, this is an enterprise data storage platform. It scales very small, right, for our SMB and mid-range customers to very high, some of the largest service providers and enterprise customers deployed on this. And this is going to address and modernize your existing data center and allow customers to address some of the new opportunities, right, in the areas of AI, ML, and analytics. And the best thing is it's delivered in a cloud operational model. And so what do we do with the data, right? So the other area that we're delivering through the GreenLake cloud platform is around backup and recovery and disaster recovery. So a lot of requirements around just traditional backups, but also hybrid backups, right? A lot of capabilities and needs around DR, but DR that's going to be delivered for you in a SaaS-based framework and also help you secure that data against things like ransomware. So this is coming up oftentimes, many, many, many times with our customers. It's really tough to see. And so one of the things that we've just announced recently is around some challenges that our customers have around cyber recovery. So unpredictable attack patterns, right, as you've seen in a number of areas. Unknown blast radius in terms of this could be a huge problem for you as a customer, right? It's a huge problem for us as HPE. We're fighting this on a daily basis. Unknown recovery points, and obviously unacceptable loss and downtime, not just productivity, but actually very hard penalties for our customers. And so what we've done is we've launched a solution which is called the Zerto Cyber Resilience Vault. It completely isolates your recovery environment with Secure Vault using this unique zero trust architecture. There's no centralized control plane, right? So the attackers can't access this. It's air-gapped and immutable on a set of infrastructure that you can also use to boot up those VMs and restore your services. And it meets your compliance and regulatory requirements, right? So you think about all that valuable data that you have for your enterprise, that you have for gaining your AI insights, and now you have a way to secure that in a manner that is immutable, right, inaccessible from attack, and then you can use it to obviously mitigate against compliance and regulatory requirements. So it's a fantastic solution. And so for us, we're delivering this through our control plane, right? AI managed across the lifecycle of your data. We have simplified deployment, intent-based provisioning. You can manage your data services, cloud console from anywhere, right? So it's a global SaaS-based solution. And we really focus on making the infrastructure really, really simple for you to use. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the context of a demo, right? So this is our cloud operational experience. It's a true hybrid cloud platform, and it's the one place you can go for very simplified operations. So I'll take you through just a couple of things here. So this is what it looks like, right? So you go to HPE GreenLake, greenlake.hpe.com, right, and click into our data services cloud console. So let's go there right now. And like I showed up in the PowerPoint, this is what you get dropped into. This is the very easy tiles to navigate. So we're gonna go take a look at your data ops manager, right? So this is gonna show you all of your physical systems, whether deployed on-prem, off-prem in a colo, other locations on the edge. And so here, what you'll see is about a number of systems that we have deployed today, both Electra and other systems. So let's go there. And what you see here is we have a number of Electra. We got Electra 6,000, 9,000. So for customers who are 9,000, 6,000 customers, you can bring those into this experience. We're going to take a look at how we apply some AI ops to our platforms, right? So how do we make your life easier using AI and machine learning, right? So we're going to click on our Electra Storage MP because it threw up a warning, right? It sent me an automated alert. Actually, even better, because it uses AI ops and ML, we can auto-generate a support case for you, right? And we can alert you to this, right? So you're going to take a look and say, oh, I've got some issues here. I'm going to take a look at what that is. I'm having some latency problems, right? And so I can go and dig down into that specific volume and those specific application types, and look at that, high variation of write latencies. We should probably take a look at that. Is someone accessing my system for a ransomware attack and encrypting my data? I don't know. Let's go make sure that's not happening. Is it a hardware problem? Am I having an issue with my application? So I can give you in real time really good insights into some of the issues that are going on at the storage level that could be happening in storage, and we can correlate them to networking and server activities, which is pretty cool. So that's one area we see, right? And then I can also go take a look at what we called workload drift, right? So these are things that we can alert customers to in real time when we see anomalies happening in their infrastructure, right? So so you don't have to wait for your application folks or your customers to pick up the phone and call you. We can automatically call you or set up alerts to open cases and really derive some things from the infrastructure that are very automated. Ooh, that's a very large. So next up, what we're going to do here is, in the context of AI, we talked this morning about GreenLake for File. So there you saw one of our block storage systems hosting a set of VMs and some other applications, and you get insights into latency issues, you get latency into visibility into workload drift. Now we're going to take a look at is, if I want to go and take a look at how to build one of those models, right, now I can go deploy file storage, right? And so let's say I need to go out and create a set of new unstructured data shares for a number of new systems, let's say the DL380As with new NVIDIA GPUs that we talked about this morning in the keynote, right? I can go and create a set of file shares here. So I'm going to go create a new one. And I can go create a share. This is going to be a share that I'm going to go share out and share data to a number of systems that have GPUs enabled. So this is an NFS share. It's going to be a little bit over 100 terabytes, right? So you can run this at pretty high scale. And then boom, you can create that. It's going to give you some policies, some capacity, some data protection templates will be automatically applied to it, and submit, right, which is pretty cool. And so, in this one cloud console, I can get insights, I can do active management, I can get AI and ML generated alerts, I can go out and create unstructured data repositories. And so you say, oh, that's pretty cool. You also talked about ransomware and backup. I can also automate my data protection all in one place for these similar workloads. So in this case, right, I have a hybrid workload deployment, right? So let's say I've taken that NFS share and I'm running that in my co-location facility. It's very closely adjacent to the network for the public cloud. And let's say I'm using some of the public cloud tooling around AI and ML operations. And what I can do now is take those EC2 instances that are running those, and I can back those up on-prem, right? So what I've seen is I've deployed those EC2 instances through GreenLake. So I'm managing EC2 instances, right, through my GreenLake Cloud Console. And I can say, I can go take a look at those. I can choose that instance that's running those workloads. And then boom, I can protect them. I have templates that have been set up, right? So that's my backup policy. Every 2-hour snapshots, I can back up every 7 days. I can do another cloud backup to a different cloud provider once every month, and I can kick that off, and then boom, that is protected. that those volumes are ready and good to go, and I can either back those up locally, back to on-prem for data sovereignty, or I can back those to another cloud service. So there's a lot of things you can do in the Data Services Cloud Console that are hybrid in nature, that allow you to take a look at both VM, databases, some of the new AI workloads, and then we're all managing some of the infrastructure here and assisting our customers with ease of use around AI ops and some of the machine learning we do around support automation. So pretty cool framework, and that's how we manage this on a daily basis. So just wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of what we're doing here. And to talk about this in the context of how this is getting deployed at a customer, right? I'd like to invite Stefan up to come here and join me on stage. And he's going to talk a little bit about his experience as an HP customer working for Żabka. And so welcome Stefan to the stage. So tell us about Żabka and your role there.
Okay, Żabka is a chain of convenience stores in Poland with over 10,000 locations. And I'm responsible for their infrastructure, on-premises network and public cloud system as well. Yeah, so we are one of the biggest, largest chain in Poland, and we are offering wide range of products. It's groceries, household items, ready-to-eat food, and moreover, Żabka is very well known for its innovative approach to retail and focus on customer experience. Especially about opening hours. Our shops are open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. So it's really challenging from the perspective of availability, from the point of view of infrastructure. Yeah.
Great. I know you've been an HPE customer for a little bit now, and so maybe you can describe to the audience some of the products you're using and solutions that you have deployed.
Okay, yeah. Our cooperation really took off 2 years ago, and when we decided to stay with our SAP systems on premises. Yeah, 2 years ago, public cloud system was on the lips of everyone. Yeah, so you can only imagine how hard it was to convince our top management just to consider staying on premises. Yeah? Fortunately, we were able to convince them, benchmark public cloud system, on-premises system. Benchmark was really amazing Allegro HPE software, hardware. It's really rocking the house. Yeah. So the performance was the most important factor for staying on premises. Besides, we also compare TCO, and because we have already huge bases in one of the public clouds, we already know that about 2 years, it's exactly the same cost in public cloud and in on premises. So if you want to stay a bit longer, then better choose on premise.
That's great. So when you described the business environment, you said you have over 10,000 stores across Europe, right? Which is very impressive. And so with such a large retail footprint, what are some of the data management challenges that you have in that environment?
Yeah, I already mentioned availability. Yeah, this is one of the most important factors here. Especially that also we provide warehouses for those stores, for our stores. Yeah, so those warehouses have to work 7 days a week, 24 hours per day. Yeah, and with this massive scale, one of our largest database for SAP, the performance there is about, in constant normal workload, it's about 20,000 SQL transactions per second. And we have to be ready for something like 10 times larger traffic. In case of HANA database is starting on the workload, it's growing. Yeah, so we need a storage, we need a hardware, that it's able to sustain such a huge traffic.
That's great. That's great. And so when you think about the SAP project and considering the on-prem versus off-prem deployment, besides the TCO, what were any other sort of technology-driven choices in that equation that you evaluated besides performance?
Performance first, availability second. Yeah, Alletra 9000 with its 100% SLA granted was really one of the main factors. Besides all of the HPE portfolio, because we have storage from HPE, we have ProLiant servers, we have SD-Flex servers, and we're also leveraging Zerto software, which is great for DR solution. Yeah, so all this portfolio built in GreenLake model, which is great for us because it allows us to pay only for what we are using. Yeah, you don't have to buy anything in advance, but you're only paying what you are using, scaling up, scaling down. Yeah, that was the main choice.
That's great. And you mentioned Zerto. So I think one of the original use cases that you were architecting Zerto for was around DR, but you've also been able to think about some other use cases for Zerto in terms of VM conversion and other things around VM migration. Maybe talk for a few minutes to the audience about what that is.
Yeah. Mainly we were using Zerto for DR solution, yeah, so replicating virtual machines from one data center to other data center. But after few months, we also find out that it is able to migrate our workloads from public cloud to on-premises, which is great for your cloud opt strategy. You know probably that it's quite easy to go into public cloud, but it's really hard to get out. Yeah? So we are using Zerto for this flexibility. If some workload isn't proper for public cloud, we are moving it out and we are moving it into our on-premises system, especially on Alletra 9000.
That's great. That's great. And I know when we were talking yesterday, and I'm sure you all have some similar issues, right? You don't have an unlimited IT staff, right, by any means. And so, whether it's tooling or automation or, things around the product, what sort of helped you, maximize the efficiency of your staff during sort of the last 2 years of the HPE project from a staffing perspective?
Okay, again, enter Alletra 9000. It's really a storage that it's something like storage as a service. When, in retail, predicting emerging needs, it's really challenging, yeah? It's when business is coming to you and starting new projects, they need infrastructure for that right now, right here. Month later, it's too late, yeah? So there is no time, there is no space for considering how the workload will look like. There is no space for a detailed architecture. You need simply present storage to server or present storage to application, and hopefully Alletra is taking care of all the performance and availability. Yeah.
And if you think about, I know that you're expanding a lot in terms of, the growth in the stores, which is fantastic. It's always good to partner with growing businesses. What do you see your IT landscape looking like in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, probably, of course, you said we are growing. Right now, our rate of growth is something like 1,000 stores per year. And we are still moving faster and faster. And especially in terms of limited IT staff to maintain all of this. Centralization is crucial here, yeah? So we don't want to have many data centers across Europe. We prefer it to keep it centralized, yeah, and manage into 1 or 2 or 3 places, not more. Yeah? So we need a solution that will help us to manage that. Moreover, public cloud is also something that you cannot avoid. Yeah? So hybrid cloud is really our strategy, and I really anticipate a solution that would allow us to benefit from it, not have another separate island like AWS, Azure, GCP, on-prem. No, it all has to work together. Yeah? If I want my workload today in Azure, then I put it in Azure. Next day, I want to in GCP. Next day, I want to in on-premise. Yeah?
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so I guess in closing, if you could sort of ask for anything from HPE, whether it's hybrid cloud or hybrid cloud storage, what do you think? What do you think that is? In terms of what are your as you anticipate some of this growth and the requirements around hybrid cloud security? What are some of the top things that you would anticipate that HPE could deliver for you over the next couple of years?
So just imagine a software that really allows you to migrate your workload without any effort between different providers. Yeah? I don't know if you're able to put your solution into some public cloud vendors, but this will be really helpful. Yeah? And then simply rotate it, because I think data should always reside where your application is. Yeah? It's really bring the compute and optimization possible.
We look forward to helping you deliver that through GreenLake, right? And some of the things we've done here with the Data Services Cloud Console. Big round of applause to Stefan for sharing his story.
Okay, thank you.
Very much appreciated. It's such a great story and a great chance to have sort of our customers talk about the values that we embody and the experiences that we build into, we attempt and try really hard to build into the products on a daily basis. And so the requirements around, availability, and we back that up 100% in our data availability, guarantee, the efficiency, right, that we're providing in the storage and data management layer, some of the built-in services that we have that allow you to have a hybrid view. I think some of the things that Stefan highlighted as future opportunities for HPE are actually already on our roadmap in terms of how can I intelligently deploy workloads, right, in a hybrid format. How do I focus on security, right, even more, right? We have it's a very complex deployment model, a big surface area from a security perspective. And at the end of the day, most of our companies now are defined by the data that we have, right? And it's one of the most important assets besides our people, right? When you think about the value of our companies, and so that was a great story. And so I think in closing, I have a couple main points to finalize with you. For us, we're helping our customers through what we call data modernization. So if you think about those two buckets or two categories of workloads today, we're helping customers like Stefan modernize their workload, right? So they had a project around SAP HANA, right? They wanted to make sure that it was available, efficient, it meets their TCO. It's going to scale with them as they begin to deploy more stores over time, and think about what that's going to mean in a distributed environment. So how do you modernize that data? And then also how do you prepare that data for tapping into the AI potential, right? So you think about having infrastructure and capabilities at the storage and data management layer that's going to allow you to decide. You may be doing it today, you may be doing it tomorrow, but if you're not tapping into AI, your competitors are already, right? And so we've been doing it in our products so that we can provide a better experience. And so we want to be able to help you tap into that potential, through your data plane. And then lastly is, it's at the end of the day, right? There is a lot that goes into IT that has a really big ROI, right? But we're also judged on TCO, right? As IT practitioners, right? As an engineering leader and person that delivers product, I don't have a limitless budget, right? And so you want to really, really optimize and make sure that we're providing the best level of services and the best infrastructure to go deploy those most important workloads in the right place and give you visibility. And I hope that I show that to you through our HPE.GreenLake cloud console and what we're doing in the data services. So for further information, we have some great sessions around AI today and tomorrow. Go to Fidelma's keynote. We're going to talk a bit about the future of our hybrid cloud offerings, right, as it relates to HPE, pan HPE. And we have all of our subject matter experts are down on the floor, so you can talk about some of the specifics around Alletra, right? We can talk about building data lakes and some of the opportunities for AI and beyond. So thank you for your time. Big thank you to Stefan for sharing his stories. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.